It's late October, the leaves are falling, the rut is in full swing, and I'm nowhere near ready to get out of this blind. I'd recently just bought a piece of land right on the edge of the city limits, and even though this tract of land was only 25 acres, I knew it had some good potential for some big deer. It's early spring, and the first thing I wanted to do was to get some mineral out, to help with the deer's antler growth, and to also start pulling the deer into that area to get them acclimated to the blind and the clearing that I'd made in that patch of timber.
Well, they say you only need 20 acres to shoot a big deer if you've got the right 20, so we're definitely going to put that theory to test in here on this little 25-acre tract. I've heard of some giants coming into town in this part of town. I talked to several different local people, and they said they've seen some giant deer come into the park and different areas here on this part of town. And so when this tract of land came up for sale, I was pretty excited, needless to say, and I went ahead and purchased it. So we're going to get this mineral freshened up, and we'll be back in here in July, and we'll hang trail cameras, and we'll see what we've got, and hopefully we've got a giant to go after.
It's the middle of July, and it's probably one of the most anticipated times of the year for most deer hunters. It's that time of year where the deer's antler growth is starting to reach a mature enough point to where you can really start to see what you have to go after as far as big deer go. So it's that time of year when you want to hang your trail cameras up and really start collecting an inventory for what you have to go after for that coming season. It's especially exciting whenever you've got a new piece of land to hunt, because you don't have any history with these deer yet, and more than anything, you're just anxious and excited to see what kind of deer this property can produce. That was certainly no exception with me, as I was extremely excited to get my trail cameras hung and see what this little tract of land right on the edge of the city limits could produce as far as big deer. We've had a cold front move in and the temperatures have dropped. I've got a couple good bucks showing up on my cameras, and I know it's only a matter of time before the rut kicks in. So I've decided to take some vacation time, and I'm going to spend the next week holding out for a big one. I know he's in here. It's just a matter of waiting for him to mess up. This is my first set on this new tract of land, so my anticipations were high to say the least. I had a few does come in for a quick bite, and as those does decided to walk back off into the timber, I had a few other critters decide to come in as well. I continued to watch these raccoons all the way up until nightfall, without any other sign of any other deer. But little did I know that next morning, the rut switch was about to be flipped. With this smaller buck chasing does around in my timber, I knew it was only a matter of time before it got the attention of one of my bigger bucks. Without any announcement of his arrival, there he was, a 4.5-year-old stud that I call Little G. This is one of the bucks that I had on trail camera back in February when I first bought the place, so I'm a lot more familiar with the age of this deer than the 10-pointer that I'm actually after. In fact, I'm pretty confident that this deer has more potential to be bigger next year than the deer that I'm after. And because I know for a fact that he's only 4.5, I've decided to give him a free pass for this year. As the day went on, more and more does started to slowly filter out of the timber. With this many does in front of me, I thought for sure it would get the attention of the buck that I was after. And sure enough, back in the timber, there he was. He's given me a perfect shot, but with the angle that I have, that doe's head is right in front of his vitals, and I don't have a clear shot. And just as quickly as he came in, he continued to walk off, without ever giving me a clear shot. At this point, however, it's pretty clear to me that the rut is in full swing, and over the course of the next few days, my little 25-acre patch of timber was on fire, with all kinds of buck activity and close encounters.
It's late October and the rut is rocking right now in Kansas. I had a phenomenal day all day yesterday with bucks chasing does the entire day. Even had several encounters with the buck I'm going after. A buck I call 50. He's just a solid 10-pointer, a stud of a deer. I wanted to be in the blind again all day today, but it just didn't happen. I've been sicker than a dog, coughing my guts out, battling this crud. And I just had absolutely no energy at all this morning, so I'm back at it again here this afternoon. It's about 1:30. It's overcast with a chance of rain. It should be a good set. 10. I don't even believe it. I just shot 50 and he just went down. I have been playing cat and mouse with that deer for the last several days, and I knew it was only a matter of time before it happened. This timber has been absolutely on fire in here. These deer have been bumping and nose around for the last several days. It didn't matter what time it was. If it was 11:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it didn't matter. These deer were on their feet, bumping and nose around. And like I said, I knew it was only a matter of time before I made it happen. And lo and behold, sure enough, he came in here to check this doe and decided to scratch his nose. And that gave me a quarter away shot at 20 yards, and I just smoked him. This hunt has been absolutely phenomenal. I don't think I've seen this much buck activity in a span of 3 days like this, like I've seen here. Oh, I can't believe it. This all came together here this evening. It's not even 5 o'clock yet, and we've got him down. I watched him go down. He didn't go maybe 50 yards and piled up. Good blood there. There he is. There's our buck. This right here is what you worked so hard for. I can't believe this came together tonight. I've been sicker than a dog, been coughing my guts out, and I knew these guys were in here. I've got this deer that I call 50. He's gonna be pushing the 150 mark, and that's how I got his name. I've been trying to stick with the urban theme. Like I said, it's a 25-acre piece of property right on the edge of city limits. In fact, there's a little chunk of this piece of land that's actually in the city limits. You can see the leaves are falling, just a beautiful time of year. Great time to be in the woods. These suckers were on their feet. I saw him, I was in here at 1:30 and saw him on his feet just as soon as I got in the blind. And I knew it was only a matter of time before he messed up. And sure enough, he did. And here he is, he's on the ground. Urban City buck, #1 right here. The deer I call 50. Just a nice solid 10-pointer.